I think everyone can see it. A massive hole left by Matt O'Reilly in the midfield. You're going to bank a record fee for it. Go and spend it. The millions are already there for last year's Champions League. More millions coming in for this year's Champions League. So I think they can afford to take a wee, to loosen the purse strings a wee bit. So, no, I think those saying they don't need to do it, well, you're in extreme danger of Rangers making a couple of right good signings and catching up with you if you don't go and spend and building where you already are. Who's to say the Premiership campaign? Who's to say the Premiership title's a formality this season? I certainly wouldn't say that. Celtic should win it. They're strong favourites to win it. But if they don't go out this in the next 4 or 5 days and bring in 2 or 3 quality signings, then, well, it could be a far more even playing field than we think.
The way Rodgers will be thinking, Daniel, in terms of the midfielders that he's looking at, I mean, if they've pulled in 25 to 30 million for O'Reilly, he'll think that if they can get Engles and the boy Bogusz at LAFC, if he could get the two of them in for half of that, even if it's 15 million for the pair, he'll think that's a brilliant deal. No, and quite right. No, it's 15 million, still 15 million profit, and he's getting 2 midfielders for the price of one. And these are obviously 2 guys that he's identified that he thinks can make the team better. And it bolsters. You're losing one in O'Reilly. If you get 2 in of that calibre, then that obviously bolsters and strengthens your squad. So, listen, you can understand the way he's thinking. It's just whether the board will back him on it. And as I say, go that extra mile if these clubs hold it for a price.
It's starting to sound like they're backing him. It sounds like the bids are in and they're ready to go to the next stage. Certainly with Engles. And we all know these are the positions Celtic need: central midfield, attacking midfield, a centre half. If they can get Auston Trusty in for Sheffield United, I've seen him a couple of times. Big, solid, left-sided central defender. I think beside Cameron Carter-Vickers, both American internationals, of course. That he could actually be a right good signing, I reckon.
Aye, we should say comments coming in on all of our social media channels. Thank you very much, and get involved in the comment section below. P. McLaughlin, who's watching live on YouTube, he says, if Celtic get Engles and Bogusz, that'll be 20 million right away. And he also points out another 13.5. I think that's a bit high for Bernardo Nida. Buy the Sheffield United defender for 5 million. That'll be 40 million pounds spent this window. Now, that does sound like a lot of money for a Scottish club. But when you take into account they'll get almost 30 million for O'Reilly alone, and they were already coining it in before that, I think that's a reasonable spend, really.
That's including all the add-ons as well, which are further down the road, of course.
Aye, that's true. Aye, I don't know. I just can't see. I just don't see how the board could get to Saturday and have not spent a lot of money. You saw Peter Lawwell getting stick after the St Mirren game. I think they have to push the boat out Celtic. They've got no choice.
So I'm saying they can't stand still. As Rodgers said himself before Matt O'Reilly left, as he spoke on Friday, Rodgers admitted then they've brought in Adam Ida. They've spent 13 million to stay exactly where they were at the end of last season. So now Matt O'Reilly's gone, basically admitted they've gone back a stage for last season. They have to spend. Be inconceivable for them not to at least bring in 2 players in the next 3 days, I reckon.
Mm-hmm. What's your gut feeling, Scott? Do you think Celtic will push the boat out?
I think they will. Maybe not on all of them. No. If you're asking me, will they get Engles, Bogusz and Trusty in for those figures? Maybe no. Maybe 2 of them, and then with another one they might need to go down the list to their next target. I mean, maybe that's me being a wee bit negative, but that would be a lot of money for them. No, the figures that we're talking about. So listen, who knows? But this is all about. It's all about Europe. It's all about player trading, sell-on value, and it's all about Rodgers basically want to take Celtic to a level where they just can't be caught by Rangers. I know Fraser saying the league's not a formality this year, but for me, Celtic are well ahead of Rangers at the minute. And if they go and get these guys and they perform to the level that obviously Rodgers thinks they can, it takes Celtic on another. It could take Celtic on another kind of stratosphere altogether and be very difficult for Rangers to go and catch in the next few years. And I think that's how he sees his role now. No, domestic dominance. There has to be progress in Europe. He wasn't happy last season, although a couple of performances in the Champions League were good. He wasn't happy with squad strength and what they could do. He's trying to address that just now. And it's also about signing. It's about getting another O'Reilly. Or no, it's about getting somebody like Engles coming in who's 2021. And in 3-4 years after he's, as I say, he's excelled in the Scottish Premiership, suddenly you've got Premier League clubs coming in for him for 25, 30 million. That's what Rodgers wants to achieve.